Now today, in my hallway, we are talking another shape, another midlife shape, the round, otherwise known as apple shape, because it's swimsuit style month this month at Sequins and Sand. And we've been celebrating the got my notes here, 6 midlife shapes that we use here at Sequins and Sand as a guide, not a gospel, not the only way, but as a guide to help you to begin to understand what swimsuits would work best for you, which swimsuits would give you the support you need, that feel good on, so you can get out there and do all the good things that bring you joy. That's what it's about. Swimsuits are doing things. They're functional pieces of equipment that every woman should have so she can get out there and have a wonderful life. Now, we've been celebrating the 6 shapes. We've gone through hourglasses, rectangles, inverted triangles, diamonds, and today it's the round, otherwise known as apple-shaped girls. Now, if you are a round-shaped girl, you will identify with these features broadly. Your middle is your widest part, so your largest measurement is usually around your tummy. You've got rounded, fuller shoulders, and yes, probably fuller bust as well, and maybe a fuller belly. They're the 2 variables. Sometimes the belly, sometimes the bust is not so full. Sometimes the bottom is not so full and it can be flat. Now, those 2 derivations lead us to different fit tips and different solutions for the right fit. And I will definitely go over length and legs later on in the presentation, later on in the live. Really important, girls, because I know for most of you out there, this represents the shape that you are. And if you're not exactly this shape, I know many of you are tummy conscious. So today, as we celebrate our beautiful apples and round girls, we will talk tummies as well. And I'm going to share with you the top swimsuit styles for a rounder tummy or rounder shape, and which also go hand in glove with supporting our tummies. So if you are tummy conscious, tune in and stay with me, because I'll show you the suits that are best for you, that will make you feel better because they feel better on. Yeah. Okay. Right. So with that in mind, I want to share with you, just flicking through my notes here, the 3 Quasi Confidence crew girls who represent the rounder shape for us. Now, I don't know if you know of our Quasi Confidence crew. Some of you do, some of you might not if you're new to Sequins and Sandland. Every year we get together, well, depending on COVID, we've gotten together differently in the last few years. But the idea is we come together united by a cause, the Quasi Confidence cause. It's where we want to encourage women to get out there and live their best summers, their best lives, not holding back. And we know the key to unlocking all of that fabulous, particularly in summer, is getting into a swimsuit that you feel good in. These women have been there. They have been on that journey. They know what it's like to hold back, and they now want to help other women not feel that way so that they can live a great life. And it's just wonderful. When we come together, friendships have been formed. The girls are on a high. The vibe is incredible, and they do a great job. And some of the girls I'll introduce you to today. Yes, I've got a bit of flicking through tabs to do to show you. But Tasha's been with us for at least probably 4 now. Jane, the same. And Flick, yes, she's done 1. So the crew girls represent different shapes, those 6 shapes that we talk about. And odds on, they represent your shape, or a shape that you feel you can relate to, because most models out there, professional models in swimsuit land, are an hourglass shape. They are an hourglass shape because an hourglass is a well-proportioned, well-balanced shape, and our brains are wired for balance. And that's why they're used. You'll usually find that they have a lovely waist, well-defined waist, and, you know, even if they're a larger size, it doesn't matter. The shape is still the same. Voluptuous curves. And yeah, so you might not fit that, right? That might not be your shape. So we show you the other shapes so that you can relate to it and make the decision about choosing the right swimsuit just that little bit easier. Well, a lot easier, actually. So today I'm going to share with you the togs that we put the girls in that I know work for their rounder shape, their apple shape. And hopefully you will get some clues as to what might work for you, what would suit your personality, your style personality. If you've got questions, put them in the feed as we go along in the chat, and I will check and I will answer what I can. Sometimes comments can't be posted by me because I'm sharing to 3 different spots at the moment, but I will promise you I will come back and answer them later. And if I see them coming up in the feed now, I will answer them as we go through. So if you're watching the recording, thank you so much. Nice of you to join in. And I know for many of you, the recording is where it's at because, you know, lunchtime on a Friday is not everybody's, you know, the right time for people to tune in. So the recording will always be there in wherever you're watching now. And you can post your questions at any time. And if you tag Sequins and Sand, then I'll know that's the doorbell ringing to let me know that someone's knocking and that I need to go and answer it. So yeah, just to remember that if you're tuning in a bit later on, all is not lost. We can get some answers back to you. Because a lot of women now are tuning in from America and Canada. Hello, if that is you, and you're very much in a different time zone being up north compared to us. So I appreciate the time difference is another reason for tuning in a little bit later on, but I'm so glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. So the three women who represent the shapes, Tasha, Flick, Felicity, and Jane, there are styles that work across the board for all of them being the same shape, but the difference is in their bust size, and that does make a difference to the styles that we choose as well. If you have a fuller bust, like Jane has an FG cup and Flick is an EF, then you will be looking for that extra support. Whereas Tasha, she's a C, maybe a D, and doesn't need as much support. Oh, hi, Linda. Nice to see you, darling. Thank you for tuning in. So she doesn't need as much support, so she can work with different styles to the other 2 girls. All right, so the number 1 style, or one of the top 3, I'm just going to put my notes down over here very quickly, is the 3-tier. The go-to that I choose for Tasha whenever we have a shoot is this one. Now, the 3-tier, she is modeling this. I'm pretty sure this one, maybe it's a different print, in the shoot from last year. 3 tiers, 1, 2, 3. Now, I know a lot of you will be looking at that going, Anita, are you nuts? That's going to add volume. Trust me, it doesn't. It falls really well, and these diagonals create the extra little bit of length that you need, because when you're really full here, you want to break that up a bit. You don't want it to make it look really blocky and you know, overly full. So that's a little visual style tip to create a little bit of extra length. And what I do find is that this bottom tier in particular covers over the tummy really nicely. And Tasha's not long in the torso, right? So the one piece works for her quite well. She's a bit shorter in the torso. Now, if you were longer in the torso, then potentially you would need to go up a size in this style in the one piece because there is no ruching. And I'll talk about that a little bit later on. But for now, the 3-tier is definitely a winner. Now, if you are longer in the torso, or if you have a fuller tummy shape and much smaller around the bottom area, for example, then you might need a tankini. So that style also comes in a tankini. And there is reassuring black for the girls who like to wear black. Yes, the pattern is an allusion to Lyndall, absolutely. There is the black for the girls who like to hide away in the slimming black. Otherwise, and I say slimming in inverted commas because any dark color really will recede and do the same. But look, to Lyndall's point, look at the leopard, right? Those spots also help to camouflage, which I know many of you are tummy conscious, like that bit of, you know, a surety that the lumps and bumps and the shape is not going to show so much. So the pattern is the other thing to look for as well. But that it is in the 3-tier. Now it's got a straight through back There we go. But a nice high back and adjustable straps. They adjust just like a bra. Now, because they adjust and they're a bit wider, they're going to give good bust support, but so does the high back, right? Because it comes in under your arm a little bit more, and that gives you good bust support on the side. So if you're looking for extra bust support with your rounder apple shape, look for that wider adjustable straps and a high back. Now, as far as bust support goes, these ones have got a shelf bra in them, which I think is absolutely plenty, and certainly plenty for Tasha as a CD cup. But I'll just quickly show you the inside, because that's what we're about here, to show you everything about what we have on offer. There is the shelf bra, and these are great because you get latitude in the cup sizing as well. There's the wide underbust elastic to give the support, and you can see that it's not lined on the inside or the outside because it's a tankini, right? And it floats, it's a little bit looser and floats about. It's got a lovely V neckline as well, which is very flattering. But this is a really accommodating bust cup. I put girls, starts at a C and goes up to an E really, really easily. I have had Fs in this as well. It gets a bit snug once you get past E, but definitely a versatile cup size with this tankini option, and the same with the one piece. So that's the first style. Now, I have to be neater today because I'm in the hallway, right? Who'd have thought? I would never have thought that I would be in the hallway doing a live. Anyway, never say never, right, girls? So those 3 tiers have been a winner here at Sequins and Sand for, donkey's years, 10 years. And the team at Capriosca will always do 3 tiers every season. So they will be out every season in different prints and planes. So keep looking for them. That's why some of the photos that the girls have been in, I can't show you today because they're older stock from previous shoots. They're no longer available, but the style is available. So look out for the style first and foremost. So the 3 tier, one piece and tankini. Now, the other style that we put Tasha in that she loves is the zip up. Now, the zip up is great, and the zip up goes up to a size 22 typically in this style in the Capriosca range. This is a lovely new pink bloom print, but you can see it's got side panels and a center panel of ruching and a central zip. Now, what those panels do, panels are really good for tummy support. I can't emphasize that enough. That just holds you in really, really nicely. So if you want to feel firmer and comfortable and have that feeling of a bit more security, I guess, around your tummy, then look for panels. The only thing with panels that you need to remember is that there is no ruching on the sides, right? So with a fuller tummy shape, it's just like having a longer torso. You need the length, and you're not going to get the length from a paneled Quasi like this one. Now, it's fine with Tasha. She doesn't have to go up a size because she's shorter in the torso, right, with her fuller tummy shape. But if you had a really pronounced fuller tummy or like a lower hanging tummy and it's really, really full, then you probably will need to go up a size. And that's fine. It's just something that you need to be aware of to suit your shape, right? That's what we're about. Now, that's not a sizing issue. That's a shape issue. And that's what I want to hammer home each and every time. Shape before size, okay? So this is a winner. We sell truckloads of these. Little frill sleeve at the side, which will give you a little bit more width. Now, some of you might not like that, but it does give you the coverage. So at a point in time, you'll have to decide what's most important to you. What are the priorities you want from your swimsuit? If it's tummy support, great for tummy support. If it's sun coverage, great for sun coverage, right? You need to decide ultimately what you'll be doing in your Quasi and how your Quasi can support you in that doing. What do you need it to do for you, right? How practical does it need to be to suit your needs? So I'll just quickly show you the inside of this one. Now, this is also a favorite for the lovely Flick. And Felicity, I'll show you photos of her later in hers. She's the same shape, but she has a fuller bust than Tasha, but it still works. Now, that is the Underbust Elastic, which goes either side of the molded, either side of the zip, and there are molded cups just to help give it a smoother outline around the bust area. Fully lined, front and back. Now, some of these are lined in power mesh, some are not, depending on the print and when they were produced. And then you've got that little frill sleeve on the side. And, you know, the other thing is if you've got a fuller bust wearing this one with your rounder tummy shape, then with your rounder shape, I should say, then changing the neckline by adjusting the zip is another really great tip, right? Let the boobs breathe, girls, just a little bit. It really is flattering. But I understand from a practical point of view, if you love to dive and swim and are in the water for a long time, like Flick is, which is why she loves this suit, then you'll probably want to do it up for that extra practicality that we were talking about. But otherwise, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Absolutely fantastic support for a round shape. Now, I wish I brought the Flouncy up. I meant to show you the Flouncy. I will describe the Flouncy. The Flouncy is another style I put Tasha in, and she was shocked when at first I said, let's do the Flouncy. She thought, no, this again is going to add volume to my tummy area. But the Flouncy is literally elasticated top and a band at the bottom, and it just falls like a top. So really there's no definition around this area. And if you really fall and you don't have a bust that needs a lot of support, then the Flouncy option is a great option for you. It comes in a top as well as a one piece, and I will put the link in the comments just so that you can click on that and see what I'm talking about. It's become a really popular, both Genevieve and Capriosca, the labels we sell the most here, have that style for that reason. Girls who are tummy conscious really, really love it. And it's also a handy style to wear as a top with your shorts and when you're out and about as well. So that's the Flouncy. Okay, now the other one, we've just done the zip up. The other really popular style that Flick likes, now we're moving into a bigger bust with a rounder tummy shape, in the round shape. Now Flick is about an E cup, E to F, and she likes this one. She's actually just bought this one. She got it in the Tankini, so I'll show you the Tankini first. Oops, dropsies. Ooh, it's getting hot with everything shut. This is the ruched underwire Tankini, and it's ruched in the cup area. Now, if you've got a fuller bust with your fuller tummy, your rounder shape, then this is a great option because the cups expand with you and give you great bust support as well. And I'll show you the support. Comes in a Tankini that's got ruching down the sides, and ruching is your best friend, girls, when you're tummy conscious, because those folds help with just, you know, giving you that surety of a bit of coverage. And then if you do it in a print like Lyndall talked about earlier, you can see how really that's going to be the master of disguise for you, master of camouflage right there. Straight through at the back like the other one, but this is ruched up at the cups so that you can fill it really well, and ruched up along the tummy. It also comes in the one piece, and I'll quickly show you that. I've got so much to show you that I'm going to scoot through pretty quickly. Because, you know, we've got heaps of options for girls with a rounder shape. Who'd have thought, hey? So many women out there go, oh, you won't have anything for me. And they go, oh, you don't have my size. But, you know, shape first, girls. Right, there is a beautiful one piece. Now, this is where you can see that pronounced ruching, right? Beautiful ruching all the way through. And that ruching is going to give you the length you need, right? When you've got a rounder tummy as part of your shape, you need the extra length, just as you would if you had not much tummy, but you were longer in the torso. Same deal, right? So beautiful ruching in the front, and on the inside, they're made exactly the same. There's also adjustable straps, again, for a good fit, and that high back that we're talking about earlier, again, to give you the bust support that you need. Now, on the inside, this one's a little bit different in that it has an underwire. Now, that's a bit of a controversial point, underwire or no underwire. Some girls are adamant that they need the underwire for a really fuller bust with their shape, and absolutely, if that's what you love to wear, you go for it. But I don't know that I'm not convinced that that's absolutely what you have to have. It's those three things working in unison that is important. So you can see this one is fully lined. This one does have the power mesh in the front. Just give you a little bit more support around the tummy. Not much, you're about half a size, you know, and then it's fully lined at the back. This is a beautiful print. It's almost a black base, really, really, really dark navy. So you can get away with black as a coordinating outfits. You can put it with black, also with the navy, bits of white and lilac. This is a navy floral. It's just landed. It's really lovely. So that is the one-piece style, the ruched underwire one-piece that Flick loves to wear with her size 22 EF cup bust, because these are sized in two bust sizes, double DE and FG. Okay, so that is the one-piece style. Now, the other style that I put Flick in for the shoot is a crossover, and Tasha's worn a crossover in the years gone by too. What I love about a crossover style for a fuller midsection shape, the round shape, is again the diagonal of the crossover will elongate visually, right? Just give you a little bit of extra length in that area that you are the widest in. And so visually, it just is more, you know, more visually gives you that balance, that proportional look, and it breaks up the blockiness of the fullness around your tummy. Now, it's also good if you have a fuller bust, it's a really flattering neckline. Now, this comes in the shoot. Flick wore the black, and I'll show you that shortly, but here it is in a print. This is from Genevieve down in Melbourne, and you can see the crossover. It's really, really flattering. Jane also wore this style in a different print, but I love this option. It is meant for a bust that starts at probably a double D, and this will go up to an F cup bust very easily. It's got the ruching down the sides to give you that extra length. And the other thing it's got, this is another trick. This is an extra panel that is sewn in over the top. Now, that's something else to look for if you are tummy conscious and want extra tummy coverage. Not only do you get it in the ruching and the print, but you also get it in the extra layer of fabric sewn in over the top. Now, it's quite a retro, you know, solution, if you like. This would have been around in the 50s, but it is another way that particularly if you've got a lower tummy, that will give you that little bit of extra length in the front and that coverage just around your groin area that you might be super conscious of. The other thing that happens there too is tummies can pull swimsuit legs forward, and that's something I want to talk about a little bit later on about the fit. But this paneling at the front just gives you that little bit of extra coverage, longer coverage in the front area. It's very flattering like that. Not flattering, but you know, you'll feel better in it because you know it's covered. That's what we mean by flattering. Now, you can see the front there with all that beautiful ruching, the crossover bust cup and wide straps, right, to carry the load of the fuller bust. However, they're not adjustable. Bit of a downside. So if it is, you know, falling off a bit, the best solution is to, you know, take a bit out of the top and bring it up that way. The reason why Sonia doesn't put adjustable clips or whatever you call them in the straps is because she goes for a wide base with her straps. That's how she chooses to design to give coverage and support, you know, that sort of back area above our bra lines that we're always whinging about, girls. So coverage there, and also to, you know, come in under the arm a bit more, but also to give width near the bust. And she's saying that because of that, it's hard for her to get that adjustable solution. But just something to keep in mind with this particular style. Now, it's got a slightly lower back. It's a scoop back, not terribly lower. That will go down to your bra area, and it's straight through at the back. So a lower leg coverage for good bottom coverage at the back as well. Now, on the inside, it's fully lined. And you can see that the busts have got that shelf bra happening. The underbust elastic is really wide. That's super wide. It's over an inch wide and it's really strong and tough. And then in the front, power mesh as well, and fully lined at the back. So that is a crossover style, which is another style that looks fabulous if you are a round shape girl. Now, let me see, what else can I show you? In terms of having a bit of extra fabric in the front, if you weren't so full in the bust like you really need to be to wear that other crossover, this is another retro style that has served us well for many, many years. It's a repeat by Caprioska each year. Very similar, but the bust is different, right? The bust is not so full and it's got the ruching across the bust. So if you're like Tasha, who is a CD, then this would be a good style for you, right? And it's exactly the same with a nice fuller leg, high back. Now, this does have wider straps at the front, but do you see how they're not wider at the back? But you can cross these over for extra bust support. So that's another little tip. But fully lined in on the inside as well with some power mesh. And it's got the shelf bra that you'd be very familiar with by now to support with the underbust elastic. But that's the retro one piece by Caprioska in the beautiful jacquard fabric. And Genevieve does a jacquard as well. It's a textured fabric that's quite firm on. So that's another way to get extra support, is with a firmer fitting fabric that doesn't have so much give in it if you want to feel snug in your swimsuit. Now, let's move on to what we have put Jane in for the shoot. Now, Jane's worn the three-tier in the Tankini, and she has also worn this one in the latest shoot. Well, not last year, the year before, in the COVID shoots, we call them. This is a style called the Tank one piece from Genevieve Swimwear. This is absolutely brilliant for support and comfort, girls. It's got so many features. It has that thicker textured fabric that will give you that snug fit on. It's got a really deep bust cup. This is a size 24, I think. Yeah, this is a 24. Goes up to, I think, a 26, maybe a 30. And you can see the depth of those cups. So if you're a rounder shape that's got a full bust with your round shape, then this is an awesome Quasi for you. It's got the deep cups for the bust, and look at all the paneling, right? It's got the center ruched panel and the side panels that we were talking about earlier for that extra snug tummy support that you're looking for. A nice high back. Now, these straps are adjustable because they're narrower at the back and the width is just in the front at the base, right? So that's how Sonia's done it with this one. Now, on the inside, these togs have got a little bit more than most for extra bust support. So they've got the underwire for the underwire fans, and then at the back, another layer of support in a bra. Do you see that? That clips like a bra does, girls. And it's got 3 different settings for you to hook the 3 hooks into, and the hook and eyes, 3 settings. So you can really bring it in to get that extra support. Isn't that fantastic? Now, it makes it trickier to get in and out of. There's no denying that. So you might have to have a couple of goes at setting it up right. But once you get your set up right, you'll be fine. So that is the extra feature in the Tank one piece that if you've got a really full bust would be handy. So Jane's our FG girl, and she definitely needs to get her girls all the support that we can muster for them to make it comfortable to swim, right, and move about. That's what it's all about, making you comfortable. Okay, I think we have motored through most of them. I did want to show you one swim dress because I know for some of you watching that you want the modesty of a swim dress, you want the length of a swim dress, and you don't want that cling. Now, my one tip for you with swim dresses, I know it's going to be tempting to want to just, loosely cover the whole body. And that's fine. If that's what gets you out there, you go for it. Whatever gets you out there is important. But I'm suggesting that a little bit more shape to your fit is going to give you that more balanced look and proportion, which is more visually appealing, to be honest. But this is one style. Again, it's from Genevieve, made in the same jacquard fabric. It's got like an empire line underneath that really full bust cup. And then there's the one piece under. There we go. Really, really super supportive. But the reason why I'm showing this one is because it will just bring you in a little bit underneath your bust. Now, if you like wearing a dress that does that, that gives you a little bit of shape with your rounder figure, then this is the swim dress that works on the same principle, right? So it just nips in a little bit under there, but it's got 3 panels, which is hard for me to show you. There's one seam, there's the other seam. So it's got an A-line. There's no cling there. The support comes from the one piece under, and then the skirt over the top just falls, so you don't get that cling. There's plenty of fullness around the tummy with this one. And it's got the extra deep cups for the bust support as well. But I do think nipping in just a little bit under the bust to give you a bit of shape is a really nice, a nice way to get that balance and proportion and give yourself a little bit of shape. You don't want to add the volume by, increasing the width overall. I mean, you can. There's no, must-dos, absolutes. These are just tips, and they're tips for a reason, right? They're just a guide. At the end of the day, you do what you want to do. Okay. Now, the other thing is many of the girls and those who love the Asuna range will reach for a bikini top. Now, the most supportive bikini top to wear with your rounder shape is this one. This is Armour, girls. It's got a really thick foam cup, and it's like a bra. Good depth. These are sized up to G cup as well. Underwire, and a bit narrow at the back with a hook. Maybe that's a downsize, but this is the most supportive bikini top, and you can wear that. Some girls wear that underneath their rashi dresses like Lindell sells, or under other Quasis if they want that extra support. Yeah, so that would be the bikini top that I would go for, the underwire style. Rightio. Now, I did want to share with you a couple of extra tips. Where do I start? Length and legs. We've talked a bit about the importance of length, because when you have a fuller tummy shape, then it's like needing the extra length if you had a longer torso. You do need to get over your tummy with a fit. So in many cases, a Tankini 2-piece is going to help, or you need to go for those styles that I showed you earlier with the ruching in the torso area. They open up like the piano accordion and give you that extra length, right? Really important. The other thing is that if you've got the rounder shape with a flatter bum, not so full in the bum, then that's probably the trickiest shape of all for me to fit, because we need to make sure that your tummy is well covered and supported, which usually means sizing you according to what is going to work for your tummy. And if you've got narrow up the top of your legs and a flat bottom, that will often mean that the leg holes of the suit are going to flap around, and then water gets up where it shouldn't, and it's just horrible. The other thing that can happen is that even if you have a fuller bottom, if you've got a pronounced tummy, then it will pull the suit forward, and again in that groin area, that's where you'll see the pull, and you'll notice the pull. There are 2 things we can do. You can go up to the size that suits your belly, and then we can re-rubber the legs or bring the legs in of the Quasi to just bring them in tighter around the elastic of the legs, And we do alterations. We offer that service for the girls who shop with us. And I'll show you where to go for that soon. That is the only way I know of that will satisfy your needs to make sure that we get the right fit around your tummy for comfort and feel good factor, as well as making sure that the legs fit nicely as well. There's another crazy tip that the girls actually shared with me, and one customer did. I remember a few years ago when I had the studio, she said, Anita, I wear my bottoms backwards. I know, crazy, right? But let's have a look why it works. Here is a typical high-waisted pant, which we sell truckloads of, right? You can see, obviously, at the back, wider at the back, narrower at the front. But if you were to wear them back to front, the width that you need to cover your groin area is actually there. Now, it means it gives you a skimpier backside, absolutely. But again, if you were layering under something or wanted that bit of extra coverage, then that is one way to do it. A tip straight from the girls to me. Fancy that. So that's one way. Wear your high-waisted pants back to front. Maybe some of you already do that. Or you can go for a different pant that is going to give you a little bit more length in that area. And Lyndall's got some of these because she sells the bike pants sort of length. There's lots of different lengths in the bottoms that we sell. And I've got to say, becoming more and more popular are the lower leg pants. Now, there's a couple of lengths here I want to share with you. That is the other solution, where you wear a pant that covers your groin area. So this is the boy leg version from Genevieve. Capriosca has a similar length. So you can see that would just cover over the groin area, girls. And then there is a longer length, which is more like the ones that Lyndall sells as well. That will go down a little bit lower. Do you see the extra length there from the groin to the bottom of the leg hem? And then there's those that are even longer again to just above the knee, right? And Lyndall's got those that go to mid-thigh. So we've got about 4 different lengths in the pants. And that's where, if you're super conscious of that area, you would do that. So team a tankini with a pant like that for the coverage that you need around that area. Otherwise, it's alterations time, girls. And we team up with an amazing company here who make dancewear. That's their main aim. But, we've gotten to know each other over the years, Janie and I, as women in business, and we decided to offer that service here because I knew for many of you, it's so frustrating, and that was the only way. The girls are amazing at coming up with the right solution, but the leg rubbering, or if it's, if we need to take it more than 2 sizes, they'll actually take a bit of fabric out. So that is the way to fix your loose legs, girls, if you have a rounder, fuller tummy shape and a flat bottom, or, they flap around. Okay, a bit of less talking about all of that. Let me know which tips you found most valuable in all of that, which tips you think might work for you the best, whether you're watching live now or later on when you're watching the recording. Just one that you found helpful. Now, I'm going to share my screen here. And first of all, I'm just going to show you where you can go to get an understanding of your shape. So if you're not sure whether you are a round shape or whatever shape it is, one of our 6 midlife shapes, then this is where you go. You head up to sequinsandsand.com.au, and in the top right hand corner there's the bikini icon, and next to that it says change room help. I'm just going to check to see. Yep, you're on. Okay, we've got you. Oh no, not that one. That one. There we go. So I've preloaded this just to save some time. So I've put in shoulders, bust, waist, and hips. So you can see the full measurement. The widest or the biggest measurement is around the tummy, around the waist area for this shape, which is why it's come up as rectangle or round. Now, The reason why I put rectangle and round together is when I was doing all of my research, it was really interesting that a rectangle shape in midlife, as we put on weight around our middles, as the vast majority of us do, that the rectangle shape can become a round shape. And you may have been round all your life, but as the years have gone on, maybe you've morphed from that rectangle into a round. And that's not to say that everybody's going to do that. It's just statistically and looking at numbers, that's what tends to happen or can happen. So that's why they group together. Then you just read and work out whether you look, whether that matches your shape, or whether you look more like Evie and Liz, or whether you're over on this camp. And there's our beautiful Tasha, Jane, and Flick, the three girls I've been talking about during this presentation who represent the round shape. I'm a round shape, right? And then you can shop by your round shape. Now, I just want to show you, I'm going to show you, I'm going to search by Tasha. I did this earlier too. There she is. Well, that's Maria, but that's the zip up that Tasha would have worn. But you can see there are different styles here. There's a 3-tier in the Tankini top that she wore. Love that. It's a good length on her. See, it just covers the bottom of her tummy, gives her the lovely tummy coverage. Look, I think Tasha rocks it much better. See how it's just too long on this model because she's a different shape, right? She doesn't need that little bit of extra length for over her tummy. That's why it works with this one. And a couple of other shapes that we did put her in. But that's another way. I liked how I found that this morning, mentioning the girls. Now, let's go in and have a look at some of our swimwear solutions, again, to show you how fabulous the girls are in those styles we've talked about. Hopefully my internets will play the game. Rightio, there's a beautiful Tash. There she is in the black version of it. That was from her very first shoot a few years ago. Black's the staples, always around. And now, where is the 3-tier in the Santorini blue? Because she is in that. There she is there. Beautiful. Love that. There we go. And there she is with Bestie Tammy. Dynamic duo. Okay, so that's the 3-tier style. This is the one-piece section, but it does come in the Tankini. Now, while we're in one pieces, I want to, that should have refreshed by now. It's not going to do it. But this is the crossover sheath. And here is, now this is doing my head in. I don't know why it's not showing. Flick. There's Flick there. Why can't I see Flick? The beauty of lives. There she is. Just had to refresh. So there's a beautiful Flick. How gorgeous is that Quasi on her, right? From her EF bust cup size, it sits beautifully and it gives her a lovely bit of definition under her bust like we talked about earlier. And there's that ruching with that extra panel that just, you know, gives her some more coverage around the tummy. It really is a flattering style on her shape. Now let's just see if it's going to play the game here. There's Jane. So Jane is in the tank style, girls, and how awesome is that? That is my favorite Quasi on Jane. She's got a really big bust, girls. It's a full bust. Hello, Jane, if you're watching. She doesn't mind because she's here to show you what's possible. And I know so many of you will relate to Jane's shape. So it gives her good bust coverage, and the paneling in around the tummy area just keeps her nice and secure and is really comfortable. I just love that style on Jane. She's a bit of a monkey. I'll show you a couple of extra photos. She's an absolute, well, you can see the difference, right? There's the model hourglass shape. Here's a lesson, girls. Beautiful. Amelia is stunning and works beautifully on Flick as well, who does not have that defined waist, right? But it still works. And they're all the features as to why. I just want to show you this photo of Jane. There's a side view. And look at that, posing as the swimsuit superhero that she is. Love your work, Jane Gardner. Okay, so they're just where you can find whether you are around shape, put your dimensions in, put your measurements in, and shop that way. Now, I just wanted to show you the girls also in the I have to stop and then I have to share again. Sorry, you're only getting half my face. It's my weird setup. Let's go to this shoot. And this is the cozyconfidence.com.au website that the beautiful Evie puts together for us each year. And I just wanted to take the time to celebrate these beautiful women who put themselves out there. They're being vulnerable, right? They're pushing through that vulnerability so that they can have the conversation with you, visual conversation about how to feel better and to show that it is possible to get out there and rock your cozy and feel good about it, right? And the more conversations we have around this, the less shame there is going to be about it, girls. Now, let's go. Oh, I just wanted to show you all right, that's the Brisbane shoot. There's Tasha in the middle. There you go. She's in that zip up with her shape. Looks fantastic. She rocked that floral print. They're the Bush girls. Just bear with me. I was going to click off, but I think, there's Denise. She's in another style from the same shoot. So Denise and Jane and Flick were our Newcastle girls. There's the beautiful Evie in a 3-tier. She's a rectangle, right? So wears it beautifully. There's Tasha again in a zip up. And the beautiful Maria in her bikini. Now, she's a triangle. She's a very different shape. And pretty soon we should see the beach girls come in from Newcastle. Isn't that gorgeous on Evie? The visual, the tricks that lines play. We need to look for those visual cues, girls. Oh, we're back to Brisbane. We don't want Brisbane, but there's Helen. Hey, Helen. Now, here we go. Here's Flick in that ruched underwire style. Now we're back to Brisbane. Okay, this is all over the place. I'm going to have to go up to, if my internet plays the game, it is really, let's go to Flick. Look at her having fun. There's that beautiful black one piece and the ruched style. Nodding, and there is Flick in the zip up, right? That's the style that she loves I was talking about. And there's Jane next to Flick in another Tankini style there's not much left of that now. But again, it was a great one. And that is my favorite image of all. Isn't that beautiful? The 3 girls having a chat, our round shaped girls. So that's the Cozy Confidence website. You can go there for more inspiration as well, ladies.